I'm Rebecca, 32, standing at the entrance of my sister Lily's opulent wedding venue after a 10-year absence. My heart pounds like a drum. Familiar faces pass by, completely oblivious to the woman I've become. Lily looks like a vision in her wedding dress, utterly unaware of my true intentions. My father, Henry, a well-known real estate mogul, is giving a speech, lauding Lily as the paragon of the family. I clutch the manila folder in my hand, the contents of which could shatter their perfect facade. As the wedding planner announces it's time for speeches, I start walking towards the microphone. If you're watching this and have ever felt betrayed by your family, know that you're not alone. Family secrets have a way of emerging when we least expect them. Now, let me take you back to where it all started. I grew up in a wealthy neighborhood in Los Angeles. Our mansion was the envy of the entire community, with its sprawling gardens and a private tennis court. My father, Henry, was a cutthroat real estate developer, always chasing the next big deal. My mother, Victoria, was a socialite who spent her days attending galas and charity events. Lily was born 5 years after me, and in the beginning, we were inseparable. I would read her bedtime stories and protect her from the bullies at school. We made promises to always be there for each other. But beneath our perfect exterior, there were dark secrets. I discovered at 16 that my father was involved in shady real estate deals, bribing officials to get permits. When I confronted him, he lashed out at me, warning me to keep my mouth shut. My mother knew about it too, but she chose to turn a blind eye, drowning her knowledge in expensive champagne. As we entered our teenage years, Lily and I reacted to our toxic home environment in different ways. I became rebellious, challenging my father's unethical practices and questioning the family's false values. Lily, on the other hand, embraced the family's image, becoming the perfect daughter, involved in volunteer work that looked good on college applications and maintaining a flawless social media presence. She often told me to just go with the flow, but I couldn't stand the hypocrisy. The turning point came on my 18th birthday. My father threw a lavish party at our mansion, not because he cared about me, but because it was expected of a family like ours. During the party, I caught my father bribing a city councilman in his study. I was furious. I went back to the party and announced what I had seen. The room fell silent. My mother looked horrified, and Lily was in tears. My father was enraged. He gave me an ultimatum: either keep quiet and pretend nothing had happened, or leave the family forever. I chose truth over family loyalty. That night, I left with only a small suitcase and a few $100s. The first year was a nightmare. I slept on friends' couches, worked minimum wage jobs at fast food joints, and struggled to make ends meet. No one from my family reached out to me. It was as if I had ceased to exist. But I didn't give up. I applied to community college and worked 3 jobs to pay for my tuition. I was lucky to meet Professor Grace Thompson, who saw potential in me. She became my mentor and a mother figure. With her help, I graduated with honors and got into a prestigious law school on a scholarship. After law school, I landed a job at a top-tier law firm in Manhattan, specializing in corporate fraud cases. 6 months ago, my firm was assigned to investigate a major real estate fraud case. The primary suspect? Henry, my father. He had been inflating property values, forging documents, and defrauding investors for years. I knew I should have recused myself due to the conflict of interest, but I saw it as an opportunity for justice. I spent months gathering evidence, interviewing witnesses, and building a solid case against him. Just as I completed the investigation, I received an invitation to Lily's wedding. I was skeptical. Was it a genuine attempt at reconciliation, or was it just a ploy to keep up appearances? I debated for days about whether to attend. I spoke to Professor Thompson, who helped me weigh the options. In the end, I decided to go, not for reconciliation, but for truth. I arrived in Los Angeles a few days before the wedding. I checked into a hotel under a different name. I drove by our old mansion, now looking a bit shabby. I watched Lily's rehearsal dinner from across the street. They looked like a perfect family, but I knew the truth. On the day of the wedding, I got ready with a mix of anxiety and determination. As I entered the venue, I was greeted with a mix of shock and surprise on some faces. I had a brief encounter with my mother in the ladies' lounge. She looked older and frilier. She tried to be polite, but I could sense her unease. I also had a conversation with Lily in the bridal suite. She told me that she had tried to find me over the years, but my father had stopped her. She also revealed that my mother was sick, suffering from a terminal illness. This news complicated my feelings, but it didn't change my resolve. As I stood at the microphone, ready to expose the truth, I took a deep breath. 10 years ago, on my 18th birthday, I was given an ultimatum by my father. Keep quiet about his illegal reel, estate deals, or leave. I chose truth, and I left with nothing. For the past 10 years, I've built a life on my own through hard work and the kindness of others. Today, I'm here to expose the truth. My father, Henry, has been involved in massive real estate fraud, defrauding investors and breaking the law for years. The room erupted in shock. My father tried to interrupt, but I continued. I presented the evidence from the folder, bank records, witness testimonies, and forged documents. The FBI, who had been monitoring the situation, entered the room and arrested my father. Chaos ensued. Lily was in tears, torn between her loyalty to our father and the truth. My mother collapsed in her chair. After the initial shock, Lily and I had a heart-to-heart. She admitted that she had suspected something was wrong but was too afraid to confront it. In the days that followed, we discovered that my mother had been keeping letters from both of us. Lily's letters were filled with apologies and pleas for me to come back. My letters to Lily, which she never received, were about my struggles and hopes. We realized that our father had been controlling the narrative, keeping us apart. My mother passed away a few weeks later. Her death was a great loss, but it also brought us closer. Lily decided to break away from the family's toxic influence. She moved in with me in New York and started looking for a job in the art world, something she had always wanted to do, but was discouraged by our father. My father's trial is set to begin soon. The evidence against him is overwhelming, and he will likely face many years in prison. Through this whole ordeal, Lily and I have rebuilt our relationship on a foundation of honesty and trust. We've learned that family isn't just about blood, it's about loyalty, truth, and love. If your family has ever faced a similar conflict between truth and loyalty, I'd love to hear your story in the comments. And if this story resonates with you, please subscribe for more stories about family and justice.